out here in the sunshine for a little bit. This is Hurricane Day that we're talking to you on. Cleveland County Kitchen. I'm Deborah Blanton. I am with Raul Ibarra. Raul Ibarra. And we have had Raul on before. He grows muscadines, pumpkins,
yes.
Peppers. We've done lots of vegetables here.
Tomatoes, cucumbers, every vegetable. Squash, a lot of squash.
But we're in the bean patch today. We have never done beans, green beans. Can you believe that? That's a staple, and I'm going to pick one right here. All right, Raul, tell me about this bean.
Well,
what kind is it?
That's a Haparano bean.
Okay.
And people really asking for, we can do another kind, but people asking for their beans a lot, so we have to have it as for the market.
Well, that's good. Yeah, you do plant and sell what people want.
That's it. That's what we're doing. Sometimes we grow a different kind, but for the sale, people ask for that kind.
Yeah. See. Well, I asked him if these were pole beans, and he said, no. Pole beans are bigger than these.
That's it. Long.
And then I at one time I planted corn and I put beans in it, and then I had the beans growing up the corn. Have you ever done that?
Oh, sure, it is. We're doing it 1 year. We're picking it there for 3 months. Because they're going to corn, I bring the corn out of Mexico, corn and it just going, I have to have a letter. I have to explain in the letter the picking the beans.
Really?
Yes, I mean, big. I say maybe
10 feet?
No, more than it.
More?
Maybe 15 or 20 feet.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, that we'd like to get on camera too sometime.
Oh no, yeah.
So we'll think about that for another time.
Okay.
All right, but now tell me how if people wanted to plant their own beans, because we're all now home and we're planting stuff. Of course, the season's over for planting, right?
Yes, pretty much. Yeah, I mean they're still kind of doing it, but because you never know, they're gonna be late winter.
Frost.
Yeah, because last year we got it 90 something degrees in October.
Oh, see.
Yes. So they still, if you're gonna try, they still make it, know. Yes.
But anyway, so you'll probably have beans, green beans, and these are half runners at the farmer's market till frost.
Yes. Probably is, because you saw what I got over there. It's coming on. Got it 2 rows over there, so yes. Pretty much I'm gonna have it all the way to the frost coming.
Right. Well, we're gonna be showing you how to freeze these things. That's gonna be if you hang on after this section, we'll be freezing green beans. But there's so many ways you can fix beans. What's your favorite way to eat beans?
The kind we got, the one I got.
Yes.
Yes.
And you just string them, and then you throw them in a pot and cook them, right?
And cooking it, yes.
Sometimes
I like it when they got the little beans in it.
Oh,
like that one. Like you chop a couple of it, or a few of it, and you put it together, and really has the best beans.
Well, I can't do that with one hand. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there.
So we used to call those Shelly beans.
That's all I like it. That's my favorite.
Shelly beans.
Shelly
so
beans.
You've got the green, you've got maybe like this, and then you have the Shellys with it.
Exactly. Yes.
Well, there you go. That's another way to cook these things if you hadn't thought about that. So, Raul, either you or your son will be at the farmer's market.
That's right. Or her.
Oh, or her.
Yes.
That's one of the wives of the Two Wives Farms. Tell me your name. Thank you. This is Loretta Justice.
Right,
yeah.
Right.
Oh, good. And I believe you've worked here how long, Raul?
I've been farm for the least 25 or 30 years.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Well, that's a wonderful record, and you're such a good farmer.
I try. I try, that's all I can do.
And that's what farming's all about, is trying to do your best.
And I love it. I love farming, really. I love farming.
Well, you have to love it, too.
See, yeah. Yeah, they grow, you have to love it. If you know, they don't grow.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Well, gracias so much, Raul.
Igualmente. Thank you very much.
De nada. And stay tuned, and we'll be with Nancy in the kitchen.
Hi everyone. At CCC, students are busy registering for the fall semester. We are staying flexible with how we offer classes, in person and online, so we can meet students' needs and interests. Our team can help you enroll, apply for financial aid, register, and get the answers you need. We continue to monitor COVID-related news and do everything we can to safeguard the well-being of our students, employees, and visitors. So come join us, register now, and keep moving forward.
Hi, America.
Hi, America.
Hi, America.
It's me with quarantine hair.
Listen, it's kind of crazy out there right now.
It's a little bit mad, isn't it?
During this crisis,
Over 37 million people
don't have access to nutritious food.
That's 1 in 12 seniors.
And 1 in 7 children.
In fact, millions of kids aren't able to receive a free
or reduced price school lunch right now.
And seniors are self-isolating to protect their health.
But that means they can't get access to the food that they need.
But there is a way we can all help.
with Feeding America.
Their network of 200 food banks are up and running,
distributing food to people and communities they serve all across the country.
If you need help,
or if you can help,
please visit feedingamerica.org
to locate a food bank in your community.
You can count on organizations like Feeding America
to be there for you.
Together.
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 Together. Let's feed the love.
We can do this, guys.
Want change? Like things the way they are? Use your rights and vote. Take a stand for your beliefs. Why wouldn't you vote? Don't make excuses. It's not every day you can take a stand on community, state, and national issues. Think your vote won't change anything? In 2008, only 3,632 votes separated the presidential race in the state of Missouri. 3,632. Every vote counts. Speak up. Only you can silence your voice. Go to your local polling place and be heard on this election day.
Well, welcome Cleveland County. This is the month of August 2020. We have to remember what year it is, right?
Right.
And I do have a mask on. We're still in the COVID prevention time. Nancy can cook and do better without a mask, so we're doing our social distancing as much as we can here in the kitchen. We're going to talk about green beans today. Woohoo! Green beans. They're plentiful, they're out there. We aren't going to do a recipe. We're going to do the same thing as we did in the month of July with our tomatoes. These are what we canned last month. Beautiful, Nancy. Thank you so much. And we're going to freeze green beans today. We figure most everybody's home, lots of gardens going on. What are you going to do with this overabundance of vegetables? So let's preserve in the month of July and August. So Nancy, why in the world would we value nutritionally a green bean?
Right. Well, Deborah, green beans are, again, another one of the nutritious vegetables that we have, and they are a part of summer. They signal summertime, although, of course, we can get all vegetables and fruits year-round through the grocery store and so forth. But when we're looking at local and seasonal produce and vegetables and products, then this is the season. They are a warm weather, warm season vegetable that's very nutritious. Vitamins A and vitamin C, as well as folate.
Okay.
So a number of nutrients for us. No fat, so no cholesterol, no sodium.
Okay.
Low in calories, only a cup of just the green beans would be about 31 calories.
Okay.
So, and of course, we can be careful on what we add to them to keep them in that locale.
Sure, of course,
Good
of
for
course.
snacking. We can eat them raw, or you can eat them cooked, steamed,
Raw, of course. Oh,
microwave,
if I didn't
sauteed.
have my mask on, I'd eat one.
Okay.
But listen, also fiber. Do we not have to
Yes,
talk
they're
about
good
fiber?
source. They're a good source of fiber.
Yes,
They certainly are.
Yes, yes, and somehow
And
green.
excellent.
Yeah, green means chlorophyll and all that. And I'm waving this knife around just because I want to show you all to get to this stage right here, which is what we're going to freeze, correct, Nancy? We're going to show you how to do that. You have to make a selection, a proper selection about the beans that you want. And this is one that looks kind of knobby and it's got spots on it. Probably we wouldn't want to use that one. This has spots on it as well.
Right. So those you would not freeze, or now you could cut those spots off and go ahead and eat that if it is not too mature.
Right.
Because the more mature beans will also be tougher and woody. They might be a little bit stringy, have a little more strings, and so forth.
Right, but
So-
of course I'm going to take care of the strings
That's
right
right.
here. But also, there's what I used to hear was Shelley beans.
Right. You don't want
And-
the bean inside to be too large,
Right.
and sometimes that the hull there will also look dry and kind of fibrous.
And this really feels that way. So this would be constituted as a Shelley bean.
Right. So you
and
could
you
use
would cook those with the green beans that are more tender.
Yes, right. You could use the bean. And in selecting green beans or snap beans, or they might be called string beans because
Right.
a lot of the varieties do have strings, but you're picking them at an immature stage. So we're getting
Right.
them about 4 inches long, thin, narrow, the smaller bean, depending on the variety, of
See,
course, but
Right, and what I have here is an early starter because it's already started to turn dry, and that's why I'm obviously having trouble getting into this thing, but, these would be a whole lot bigger than say, what's in one of these is a really
right,
tiny
very
little bean.
small, very small.
All
And
right.
we may want to go ahead and start our blanching.
Oh, let's do
Because
that,
we're
Nancy.
going to need a certain amount of time. And
Thank you for that,
And
yes.
when you bring green beans home, like all other vegetables, we're not going to wash them at that point.
Right.
Put them in the refrigerator, in a plastic bag, in the crisper drawer in your refrigerator.
Right.
Then when you're ready to work with them, then you do wash them several times and lift them out of the water so that any grit or sand
Doesn't
doesn't
settle
stay
on
with
them.
the bean.
Uh-huh.
So lift those out, and then you're ready to trim off the ends, snap or cut the ends off,
So we're going to do
and
this.
break them.
Woo, and there was a
And
little
we'll wash
string there.
again before we are ready now to blanch them.
All right, here's the string
So-
coming off, yes. And then for that, hold on, Nancy. Oh, and, well, here, I can just do this. Ah,
Right,
there we
okay,
go.
well,
We
good, you
did
add
it.
in
We did it,
2 more.
added to it. Good job.
All right, so I want to be sure that we have time to show you the blanching, because once we've got our pot of boiling water,
And it is
and-
boiling in here.
and we'll
Whoops, you
start
got some on the lid.
counting.
Okay, there we go. We're good. We're good, good, good.
When the water returns to a boil is when we will start our timing, and Deborah's going to set the timer for us in just a moment.
It's going to be 3 minutes.
That's right.
Once they start to boil.
And you could, if you had some small young beans, you could do whole, or you could cut them like this. You could do French style cut. So lots of different things in addition to, we've just cut them in half, about
Right.
1 to 2 inch pieces.
Right.
So we want the water to come back to a boil here,
Yeah, crank up that heat.
and we are just about there.
Okay, well, I'll get ready
So-
because you got to do this is the old-fashioned
That's
timer.
right. There are other ways, as we know, to time now, but that is
In fact, we
the
were talking your
old-fashioned way.
phone, the microwave, if you're lucky enough, the oven or the stove. They have timers on them.
Right, lots
But
of
this
ways.
is typical. So are we pretty good, Nancy?
All righty, I think we're at boiling. So
Okay,
we'll
all
set our
right,
3
so-
minutes.
Hold on,
And the
3
purpose-
minutes. Woo, there we go.
All right. The purpose of blanching.
Yes, that is so important. If you know why you're doing it, you don't mind doing it.
Mm-hmm. Well, we want to stop the enzyme action, which means the bean continuing to mature. So we're trying to stop that so that when you put it in the freezer and of course, if you were not freezing green beans, your other option would be to pressure can them.
Oh, okay.
They can be pressure canned, but
right.
they are
of course,
one
we
of the...
talked about that last month.
Right.
Which, by the way, some folks thought it was a little boring. I think we can all get into freezing. Boiling, it's too hot out, but freezing, we're going to go along with.
All righty. Well, with, again, you're stopping the maturing. The enzyme action is the reason for the blanching.
Okay.
Now, there are some things that we don't have to blanch. Some fruits.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Or bell peppers. If you
Oh.
bring home maybe pepper from the market or your own garden and you've got a lot of them,
Right.
then you can just chop those or slice them and put those on a cookie sheet or a baking
Okay.
tray. And we've lined it with parchment paper just to make it easier to handle.
Right,
And
right.
getting our things.
But probably you wouldn't want a towel, would you?
Right, no, you wouldn't want a towel and
Okay.
you wouldn't want a paper towel, and nor would you want wax paper.
Oh, okay.
Because all of those
okay.
things would crumble and stick to the product
Okay.
that you're freezing.
So parchment paper.
Parchment,
okay.
and
Do
we'll...
you have any of that
Yes.
demonstrated here? Oh, yeah, look at that, Nancy.
So the parchment paper, which again is not wax paper,
Right.
but this is a parchment in the
Okay.
same section of the store. And if you're freezing hard products or dry products, you could use heavyweight foil or freezer paper, some other things
Right.
as well. But the purpose here of the parchment paper is just to make it easy for our... Okay.
There we go.
That's our timer.
There we go.
All right, and it's actively boiling still. We'll turn off the heat
Okay.
and we'll get this out.
And while you're maneuvering, Nancy, getting the beans out, let me
Mm-hmm.
ask you about the parchment paper. Can you roast vegetables on
Yes.
this?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what a
You can.
wonderful thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
I learn something every time with our what do we need? You need to put
that,
it right there?
That colander we'll put into
Oh,
the
okay,
water.
there we go. There we go. All right,
All
there
righty.
we go.
And the reason for that is it just makes it easy to fish these out
And-
without having to...
I'm you can't see this, but there is ice cube. There are ice cubes in here. Is that right, Nancy?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Now how are we
And
going to
I'm
do
going
that?
to
Oh, and
actually...
there's more. There's more
Uh-huh.
here.
We're going to spread these out so we can do it a little bit quicker.
Don't you just dump them all in the ice water? Why don't you do that?
Well, you can, all of them in there, or if you can
Yeah.
get this submerged, then again, it just makes it a little quicker
Yeah, but
on
that's
getting
not,
them
that's
out.
not happening.
There. And we'll
Right.
add some...
Ice and water. And, okay, now tell us the reason for the ice. Why are we doing that?
We want to stop the cooking, stop the blanching
Okay,
action.
okay.
So that we're setting, and you'll do, usually not more than your blanching time, so it shouldn't take us more than 3 minutes. We
And so
may
you
need
got
some
it
more
in a
water.
colander, so you aren't picking it out of the ice cubes, right?
Right, so we don't have to pick out every one
Right.
of these. But
But we're
in
having
order
to with
to-
that, but that's okay. That's
right,
okay.
so here, we'll actually...
Now, how long do you leave them in the ice water?
About the same amount of time that you were blanching,
Okay.
usually, about that length of time. And
Well,
I'm
so
going
here,
to...
then let me set that. I like
Alrighty.
setting this. This is an
Yes,
old
you're
timey.
good at setting that
Good
for
deal,
us.
good deal.
And I'm looking for us
What? What do you need?
maybe a little more water to put into that one.
Well, here. Do you need?
Yeah.
Can you get water?
Mm-hmm. And we'll just, that way, I don't want that ice to cling to the beans when we're ready to take them out.
Cling to the beans. What do you mean by that?
I want that ice to melt.
Oh, well, now there we go.
So,
That sounds better.
okay.
It's like like your tongue, you stick your tongue on a frozen pipe outside.
Right.
Same kind of deal.
Right, so there we go.
All right, stir those up.
right.
So we're stopping the cooking action. Okay?
Right. So when that goes off, we should have plenty of, and we're going to, now you could put these out on a paper towel or a, here you
towel.
could use a towel.
A towel
right,
towel,
a dish towel.
right, dish
And
towel.
blot the water.
Right.
Because when you freeze them, you want as a little bit of ice. You don't want ice to form on them, and that means we've got to get them dry.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So another option, if you have a salad spinner, is
Here
that
we
once
go.
this is chilled,
Here we
so when our
go.
timer goes off,
All right.
or are we
Do I-
doing okay on the
Am I-
time?
oh, there we go. There we go. So, oh, yes.
So we're probably, how are we on time?
Oh, we've got a minute to go.
All
But-
right.
but we
But
set
let's
that
go
later,
ahead.
so let's
Let's go
do
ahead
that.
and put
Yeah.
a few in here,
Yep,
and then we'll do those maybe even off camera if our time is. So here,
Well, I kind of see the function of the colander now, Nancy.
right. Now, you can certainly put them in, and then with a slotted spoon or something, a different tool, there, we'll just put those in like that. And
Now are we ready?
now we're ready.
Didn't we do this
And
with something else?
We
What
did
we do
this with salad,
salad.
when we did salad greens back some time ago. Okay, good,
There we
there's our
go.
time. So we'll
All right, that
go
ought to
ahead
do
and
it.
fish these out.
Stop. Whoops, I'm in trouble.
Okay,
How does that work?
we just have to,
I got it off one time.
there we go.
Oh, there we go.
Has
I'm
to
pulling
tilt.
around. Yeah, oh, I got you, okay.
All righty.
Now then,
Now we'll just take just the
this
basket and we'll put them in a single layer on our parchment lined tray.
Uh-huh.
And we'll do the rest the same way. And with that then,
See, there's a little bit of water in here. That
Mm-hmm.
got it out.
and we could blot a little bit more even with paper towels, but you want to get a single layer there.
All right.
And after that, then we're ready to place those in the freezer. This is called the tray method.
Okay.
So we'll put those into the freezer.
Okay.
And we have a tray
Voila.
that we
Here we
did
go.
earlier. And here it is.
Yeah, there we are.
So you see these are loose.
Right.
And you can put however
All
few.
right, Nancy, I'm just gonna, you won't miss one.
Oh, right, go right ahead.
Ah,
Now, we can freeze green beans and anything dry or even liquid in our freezer bags, freezer weight bags, or like these have been done in bags, or you can put them in a rigid container.
okay.
So again, it needs to be, and we'll look at some labeling over there in just a moment, but the purpose again of the parchment paper is it makes it easy to fill, whether it's a bag or,
Look at this.
so we'll just pour, you'll want to leave a little bit of head space.
And why is that?
So that when things freeze, they expand.
Okay, but they've
But now
already
these have
frozen.
already frozen, so I would put a few
Well,
more
why don't we
in
do
there.
that? Put a few more in there.
And
Few more in there. Oh, I love this parchment paper, Nancy. What a great
Okay.
idea. All right, there we go.
so there,
Woo-hoo!
so we got just a handful. And
Well,
then
we could cram those in there.
we
but
could
anyway,
probably, but
it's-
I want to show
That's my
you.
lunch.
Okay,
That's
good.
my lunch.
Well, there then, that's,
Yeah.
and in placing, what we're trying to do is again seal out all the air, or as
Right.
much air. So when you place this on, you hear it pop.
Yeah,
And
and
then
you
come
burp
back
it.
and burp it on the
Okay.
corner.
And these are specific containers for freezing.
Right. Those,
And Nancy has a whole bunch of things over here.
those say freezer safe.
Freezer safe, okay.
The same with your jars. They're labeled
who
freezer
knew?
safe. And we're using a freezer tape
Okay.
to label.
Right.
So that at
Oh,
the
yeah.
temperatures,
See,
you
she's
want
got
your
it right
freezer
here.
to be at 0 degrees. So this tape will stay on even lower than that.
Okay, okay.
So be
Well,
sure
great.
to label with a permanent marker.
Okay.
And,
Although I can tell this is green beans, though.
right.
Anyway.
But your date, the date
Yeah,
and several
that's
things.
important.
And you'll want to place things in the freezer so that things that are have been in there longer come to the top and your new things go in for
Go in-
later.
You're right. Well, that's a great idea.
8
yeah.
to 12 months is your
Okay.
storage time
Okay.
on frozen.
Good deal. And then you'll have green beans for
Green
Christmas.
beans for Christmas and vegetable soup and all those
Oh,
things.
Perfect. Hope you've learned something, folks, and the reason why certain things are done in the kitchen. There's specific reasons. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, be careful. See you next month.
Today, I want to speak with you about coronavirus and a few practical ways your family can stay healthy. First, hand washing is essential. Children should wash their hands after coming in from outside, before eating, after coughing, sneezing, or blowing their little noses. Second, limit all crowds and explain that no one is shaking hands or hugging because that is how germs can spread. While changes need to be made now, I encourage parents to let children know this will not last forever. I urge you to stay connected to family and loved ones, stay safe, and remember, while many of us are apart, we are all in this together. Please be sure to follow CDC guidelines, which can be found at coronavirus.gov, along with other information and resources.
Listen up. Do you have a passion for cooking? A desire to learn more about the craft of professional food preparation? If so, now's a great time to check out Cleveland Community College's brand new Culinary Arts Academy. This exciting 3-month program offers hands-on training for jobs in the food service industry. Across the nation, food service is one of the fastest growing industries. With your training at CCC's Culinary Arts Academy, you can compete for jobs in hotels, restaurants, conference centers, cruise ships, and other settings. Enroll in CCC's program and you'll gain in-depth training in food procedures, preparation, and commercial kitchen operations. Plus, the program includes a special add-on. You'll get your certificate in cardiopulmonary resuscitation, or CPR training. You can earn good money too. Depending on where you work, starting salaries range from $20,000 to $50,000. In just 12 weeks, you can be well on your way to gaining the know-how to handle food safely, properly, as a true professional. Now ask yourself, are you ready to start your journey today at CCC?
According to the National Institute of Mental Health, over 6.9% of the nation's population is depressed, and the ASPCA estimates that 6.5 million animals enter shelters a year nationwide.
Adoption has helped me and her. Maybe it can help you.
Adopting a pet has helped her cope with depression, as well as many others like her. For more information regarding pet adoption, please visit aspca.org today.